こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材はいつものアンフィールドアジェンダチャンネルから、いつものプレイヤーレーティング動画をお届けします。リバポおじさんでもおなじみのクレイグは、厳しい前半の戦いから、後半の逆転劇、さらに順位表でトップになったことから興奮を隠しきれないといった感じです。サブの活躍にも十分に満足している、あるいは賞賛が止まらないほど嬉しい感情が溢れています。いつものクレイグの興奮が伝わってくる動画ですのでお楽しみください。それではチェックしてみましょう。
What is up, my friends? How are we? I'll tell you how we are. We're top of the league is how we are. You are very welcome along to our player ratings video here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool have come from a goal down to beat Brighton for the second time in a few days. A result coupled with the defeat of Manchester City at Bournemouth and the defeat of Arsenal at St James's Park means that ARNE slots Liverpool, as I sit here right now, are top of the league. And there's nothing that anybody can do about it. Big games to come, further challenges ahead, but don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be happy right now, or celebrate right now, or be buzzing right now. We knew going into the game we needed to capitalise on Arsenal's misfortunes. We did. We did it the hard way, but God does it feel satisfying. So what I'm going to do is go through all the players, the manager, the referee and the substitutes, giving them a score out of 10. You guys have already helped by submitting your player ratings in our match reaction show. You'll see those ratings scored in the top right hand corner of the graphic. Mine will be in the big square box there with the question mark in it. Right, let's get into it. Starting off with the referee. And do you know what? I thought he was okay. I'm not going to say I agree with every decision. There's never going to be a game where we all agree with every decision. But I think the referee did his job okay today and got the major decisions right. I've given him a score of 7 and you guys feel similarly with a score of 7.2. Now, we have taken your feedback on board, by the way, and from the Leverkusen game onwards, I'm going to be able to introduce half points as well on my side. So it'll be 6.5, 7.5 or whatever. So thank you for that feedback. Next up, we move on to Kelleher, who, let's be honest, couldn't have really done much with the Brighton goal. Some people feel like maybe he could have done better. I certainly don't. I think it was a very good strike. And other than that, he didn't really have all that much to do. Made a big save, actually, in the first half, one-on-one, and a couple of other good goalkeeping moments there. But in the second half, was much quieter for the big man. And as always, very grateful to have him as a deputy. No, Alisson Becker would haunt most teams, but we know we're spoiled in the goalkeeping department. So I've given Quiveen a score of 7. You guys, a bit more generous, have gone to a 7.6. Now look, there's every chance that I've underappreciated him there by a little bit, because I'm just in love with the attackers today, and we'll move on to those in a while. Next up comes Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, let's be adult about this. This wasn't his best game. I thought he actually defended quite well and one-on-ones, made some good blocks as well, and he was up against Matoma, who's a difficult operator. But it was more in possession today and the range of passing from Trent that I felt a little bit disappointed. These things I'm always happy to talk about after a win, but this is something that I hope Trent can work on and become better on, because I've really enjoyed his defending under ARNE, much better than in previous seasons. But it's not many times we're going to be talking about the ball striking being the issue, and today I thought he was a bit wayward in some of his passing. So I've given him a score of 6, and you guys pretty much similarly with a 6.2. Let us know in the comment section if you think that's fair or unfair. Next up, Ibu. And look, we don't have an update as of yet. As I sit here now recording this, I don't have an update. It looked fairly serious. Whether it's a sprain or a fracture, we don't know. But he did go off at half-time with his arm slinged up inside of his jersey. It looked like it was a collision with Virgil van Dijk, one of those freak accidents. So we do wish Ibu all the best. We'll move on to give Joe Gomez his flowers in a minute, because he was incredible when he came on. But for Ibrahim Konate, look, I gave him a 7 because it's difficult to give him a score. He played the first half. It was the half we were under the cosh a little bit more. But Ibu is a quality operator, so I felt the 7 was fair. And you guys, just a little bit less there with a 6.8. Next up, our captain, Virgil van Dijk. Felt like he was just throwing himself around there all over the place today. He gave Costas a clatter, fell into Ibu, but also led the defence and marshalled us through that second half as well. There was one chance that he was beaten on the ground with. You probably know the one I'm talking about, the one where Kelleher came out and made a one-on-one save. It's not often you're going to see Virgil outran, but on this occasion he was. That being said, I thought Virgil was good as always, so I've given him a score of 8. You guys have gone for a 7.5. Next up is Costas, who deserves any credit that comes his way. He has performed very admirably since he stepped in to fill in for Andy Robertson, and probably is now Arne Slot's, dare I say it, first choice left back. And I thought he was brilliant today. First half, we were just a bit shaky all over, and there's no point in me looking to single out any one person. But in the second half, we've seen the best of Costas. So, rightly, he was mentioned very highly in our match reaction. I've given him a score of 8, and you guys are not far behind with a 7.8. Now into midfield, where I don't think I've had a conversation around midfield where I said I haven't been too happy with them over the course of a game. And today, second half was better, but that first half we weren't at it. We weren't at the races in midfield. Gravenberch was trying to do a lot today as always. I've given him a score of 7, and you guys are exactly the same. Look, we'll have better days in midfield, but Ryan didn't give up. He kept going, kept trying to do the right things, and for that, always grateful. Next up, McAllister, who, if I'm being honest, I thought it was one of his poorer games. I don't know if it's because it was against former teammates or if there was some psychological block. He also came in for a bit of treatment early in the game. It always feels like he gets clattered into in the first 5 minutes of a game, but kept going until I believe when he was substituted off. And Jones is knocking on the door now. You know, it is great, and we're going to get Elliott back, and these options are going to grow for the manager. I still think we could do with adding a midfielder in the market, of course, but for Alexis today, I've given him a score of 6, and you guys similarly thinking with a score of 6.2. He has better performances in him. We just need to get them out. Next up, Dominic Szoboszlai, who I thought really came into his own as the start of the second half. Was disappointed to be taken off. As you could see, he was swearing as he was taken off. I don't blame him. Look, these players will know that we weren't at it for big chunks of that game today. But to his eternal credit, he's always going to keep going, isn't he? And I haven't liked some of the grief I've seen him come in for from some Liverpool fans. I think he does add a lot to the team, but we do want a little bit more end product. That being said, I've given him a score today of 6, and you guys have gone 6.4. And look, I think my 6 is fair. He looked disappointed in himself coming off. I just don't think our midfield was our best area of the pitch today, but it's not often I've said that this season, so that's absolutely fine. Next up, the great man, Mohamed Salah, who had lost a couple of one-on-one duels, had a couple of half chances, but cometh the hour, cometh the moment, cometh the man. And once again, Mohamed Salah shows why he is spoken about so glowingly by not just Liverpool fans, but other football fans around the world, and why it is pivotal that we keep him at the football club. When we needed a saviour today, Mo showed up and buried it, as he always does. So thank you to Mo. I'm giving him a score of 9 because of that. And look, I don't think his whole performance was a 9. Don't get me wrong. But it is about the big moments. It is about small margins and fine details. And he was the cherry on the icing today. That's why I've gone for a 9. You guys with an 8.3. We move on now to Cody Gakpo. Felt like he was close to getting another screamer when he curled one in from the edge of the box. I really like Cody. He's a tidy footballer. I just hope we can try and find a way to get him and Diaz on the pitch, because I thought when they were both on there, our attack looked dangerous and we looked at our free-flowing best, and Brighton just couldn't get out. So I've given Cody Gakpo today a score of 8. You guys similarly high with an 8.1. Remember, if you agree or disagree with any of these, do let us know in the comment section. It's not an exact science. I'm not saying I'm always right or the chat are always right. We always appreciate your feedback. Darwin Núñez. A great performance again today from Darwin. Look, he didn't score, but I will take this work rate and this output from Darwin Núñez every day of the week, because he is a great foil for Mohamed Salah, for Lucho, for Cody, and a great workhorse for the team. Always running the hard yards, always fighting for the ball, never giving defenders a minute, and played a little role in the goal as well today, the opening goal. So thank you for another great display, Darwin, and I hope people are starting to see that he is turning the tide. So I've given Darwin a score of 8, and you guys have gone a little bit lower with a 7.5. Next up, Joe Gomez. Let's be honest, you thought he was going to get that goal today, because I did as well. 2 good set-piece moves from Joe, gets across the front of his man, gets headers. Unfortunately for him, the keeper was right there. But I thought Joe was impeccable when he came on. It's a big loss to lose Canade, but Joe Gomez stepped in and showed why so many of us want Joe to be kept around and stay at the club. He is pivotal. He is such a utility player. You can play him right across the back line, and again, mentality spot on from Joe today. He looked like he's been playing every game. Really sharp, really impressed. I've given Joe an 8, and you guys have gone for an 8.3. Next up, Curtis Jones. Do you know what? Today was one of those days, and there hasn't been many, where the chat was actually calling for Curtis Jones. And that's to his testament, to his credit. And he didn't let us down when he came on. I thought he made the game tick. He always looks to get involved. And I think we could see the tide turning as well a little bit here for Curtis. If he can keep his fitness up, I think Arne Slot will really feel he can trust Curtis Jones now. Today I've gone for a 7. You guys a little bit higher with a 7.5. And look, I'm absolutely open to the prospect that maybe I was half a point too low there with Curtis Jones, because I do think he helped us a lot when he came on. Next up, Lucho. I mean, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. This man's energy and the pain in the arse that he is, I'm sorry I don't have a better phrase than that, for opposition defenders is glorious to watch. He just causes havoc and mayhem. And him, coupled with Darwin and Cody Gakpo, if we can get them all on the pitch, dare I say it, go with 4 attackers, oh, we're blessed. And look, Lucho was brilliant when he came on as well. Giving Lucho a score of 8, because I really do feel like he was the instigator. He was the one that just lit a fuse or something when he came on. I'm a big fan, and I'm giving him a score of 8. You guys have gone for a 7.3. And now Wataru Endo, who continues to show his class as an operator, as a teammate, and as a player, and as a man. Came on today and did what Arne needed him to do. Take the sting, stop the counters, and make sure that they don't get through the middle. And he did that, and he always does it when he's called upon. So well done to Wataru yet again. We're starting to see more trust there from Arne now. Is he the closer? Is that what we're going to call Wataru now? Because that's what it feels like. And I've given him an 8, and you guys feel that's maybe a little bit too high. You've gone for a 7.2. But he does feel like he's the man to help get us over the line. The new Jimmy Milner. And finally, our manager. This was a big test. And I said at half-time, this could define the season for us as a club, because it could be a big momentum shift. We urged Arne at half-time to figure it out, to get it right, and to show his class. And he did it. And he did it perfectly. So Arne Slot deserves immense credit. It's going to be difficult to always get the best out of your players when you're playing twice a week and you've got injuries and you can't rotate as much as you want. But he's been able to find a way, make the tactical tweaks, and we came out in that second half and we got the job done. So thank you, Arne Slot. Today I've given him a very credible score of 9, and you guys a little bit less with an 8.5. My friends, that is the Anfield Agenda player ratings. I'm going to be back tonight at 8:45. Because we got to celebrate, right? We are top of the league right now in what's been an almost perfect weekend. So I will catch you then. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our sponsors, Manscaped, as well. And don't forget, you can get yourself 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com. Anything there, you get that discount and the free shipping. And again, thank you for your support. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
次は解説です。表現豊かなクレイグは今回もいろいろな表現を使っており、それがクレイグの感情をより表現しているものですが、それによって解説パートもかなり多くなってしまいました。イディオムや比喩表現など、クレイグが好きそうな表現も多くありますので、今日も楽しみながら学習しましょう。それでは解説です。
No Alisson Becker would haunt most teams.
ホーントは、付きまとう。悩ませるという意味で、特に不安や恐怖、後悔が繰り返し心に残るニュアンスがあります。ここではアリソンの不在が、他のどのチームでも付きまとう問題になるだろうということ。つまり、悩ませるだろうというニュアンスで使われています。
No Alisson Becker would haunt most teams. No Alisson Becker would haunt most teams, but we know we're spoiled in the goalkeeping department, so... But we know we're spoiled in the goalkeeping department, so... But we know we're spoiled in the goalkeeping department, so... And today I thought he was a bit wayward in some of his passing. And today I thought he was a bit wayward in some of his passing. And today I thought he was a bit wayward in some of his passing. Whether it's a sprain or a fracture, we don't know. Whether it's a sprain or a fracture, we don't know. Whether it's a sprain or a fracture, we don't know. But he did go off at half-time with his arm slinged up inside of his jersey.
スリングは、吊り具や吊るすという意味を持つ単語で、負傷した腕や肩を固定するためのサポート具を指します。肩からかける小さなバッグや、片方の肩にかけて吊るし、その布で赤ちゃんをすっぽり包み込むタイプの抱っこ紐も、スリングと呼ばれますね。医療用としてよく使われるほか、日常的に吊るす、投げるという意味で動詞としても使われます。
But he did go off at half-time with his arm slinged up inside of his jersey. But he did go off at half-time with his arm slinged up inside of his jersey. It looked like it was a collision with Virgil van Dijk.
コリジョンは衝突や激突を意味し、2つ以上の物体や人が勢いよくぶつかることを指します。車の事故やスポーツでの接触、考えや意見の対立など、物理的な衝突だけでなく抽象的な衝突も表します。野球のホームベースで、キャッチャーに衝突する激しいプレーは反則行為となりましたが、これがコリジョンルールと呼ばれるものですね。
It looked like it was a collision with Virgil van Dijk. It looked like it was a collision with Virgil van Dijk, one of those freak accidents. One of those freak accidents. So gave Costas a clatter, fell into Ebu.
ギブサムアン・エークラターは、カジュアルで口語的な表現で、誰かにぶつかる。誰かを強く叩く、または体当たりするという意味で、主にイギリスやアイルランドのスラングで使われます。特にスポーツの文脈で、選手が他の選手に激しく接触する際に使われます。
Gave Costas a clatter, fell into Ebu. Gave Costas a clatter, fell into Ebu. We weren't at the races in midfield.
Be at the race は、カジュアルなイディオムで、調子が良い。集中している。状況にしっかりついていっているという意味で、主にイギリス英語で使われ、特にスポーツや仕事の場面でうまくいっているや期待通りに進んでいることを表します。
We weren't at the races in midfield. As you could see, he was swearing as he was taken off.
スウェアは、誓うと悪い言葉を使うの2つの異なる意味を持つ多義語です。誓うは真実を保証するまたは強い約束をする意味で使われます。一方、悪い言葉を使うは、怒りや苛立ちを表現するための不適切な言葉を指します。この二つの意味はもともと神聖なものに誓いを立てることから派生しており、不敬や冒涜の意味が加わったため、現在のような使い分けが生まれました。文脈によって意味が大きく異なるため、注意が必要です。
As you could see, he was swearing as he was taken off. But cometh the hour, cometh the moment, cometh the man.
このような表現は日常会話ではあまり使われませんが、文学的な表現やスポーツ解説、演説などで見かける表現です。特に感動を誘う場面や劇的な状況で、ヒーロー的な人物や決定的な瞬間を強調する際に使われます。日本語で言えば、いざという時には、ここぞという時に、決戦の場で、など、少し格式ばった表現に近いです。
But cometh the hour, cometh the moment, cometh the man. But cometh the hour, cometh the moment, cometh the man. Mohamed Salah shows why he is spoken about so glowingly by not. Mohamed Salah shows why he is spoken about so glowingly by Mohamed Salah shows why he is spoken about so glowingly by not. When we needed a savior today.
セービアは救世主を意味する英単語で困難な状況や危機から人々を救う人物を指します。宗教的な文脈では特に神聖な意味を持ちますが、日常会話では単に助けてくれる人やピンチを救う存在という意味でも使われます。
When we needed a savior today, and he was the cherry on the icing today.
The cherry on the icing はケーキの上のチェリーのように何かをさらに魅力的にする最後の仕上げや特別な要素を指します。すでに良い状況にさらに価値を加える、いわば極上の仕上げやとどめの一押しという意味です。ここでのアイシングはケーキの上に塗る砂糖のクリームを指します。
And he was the cherry on the icing today. And he was the cherry on the icing today because he is a great foil for Mohamed Salah, for Lucho, for Cody.
フォイルはアルミホイルのホイルですが、歴史的に宝石の裏に光沢のある金属箔、つまりホイルを置くことで宝石がより輝き、色が鮮やかに見えるようにする手法があり、この引き立てるための背景や補助という概念が転じて、文学や演劇で対照的なキャラクターや性質を引き立てる引き立て役を意味するようになりました。彼はホイルだという表現は、彼は引き立て役だということになります。
Because he is a great foil for Mohamed Salah, for Lucho, for Cody. Because he is a great foil for Mohamed Salah, for Lucho, for Cody. And I hope people are starting to see that he is turning the tide.
Turn the tide は、形勢を逆転する。流れを変えるという意味の英語表現です。このフレーズは、もともと潮の流れが変わることから来ており、状況や流れを逆転させる、または大きな変化をもたらすことを示します。多くの場合、困難な状況や不利な状況から有利な状態に変えるというニュアンスで使われます。
And I hope people are starting to see that he is turning the tide. And I hope people are starting to see that he is turning the tide. But I thought Joe was impeccable when he came on.
インペカブルは、火の打ちどころがない。完璧な。申し分ないという意味で。行動、態度、品質などが非常に優れていて、欠点やミスがない状態を表します。反対の意味であるペッカブルは、過ちや間違いを起こしやすいという意味ですが、日常的にはほとんど使われない単語です。
But I thought Joe was impeccable when he came on. But I thought Joe was impeccable when he came on. And again, mentality spot on from Joe today. And again, mentality spot on from Joe today. And again, mentality spot on from Joe today. I thought he made the game tick.
Make something tick は何かをうまく機能させる。うまく動くようにするという意味の表現で、何かがうまく動く、成功する、または機能するための仕組みや理由を指します。ここでのティックは時計のチクタクという動作に由来し、何かを動かす、うまく機能させる仕組みや物事がどのように動いているのかを指す比喩的な表現で、特に人や組織、システムがどうしてうまく動くのか、その原動力や成功の鍵について話すときに使われます。
I thought he made the game tick. I thought he made the game tick. Pain in the arse that he is. Pain in the arse that he is. Pain in the arse that he is. He just causes havoc and mayhem.
ハボックとメイヘムはどちらも大混乱という意味ですが、ハボックは特に被害や破壊のニュアンスが強く、メイヘムは必ずしも物理的な破壊を伴わず、多くの人が関わる騒動や混乱のニュアンスが強いです。
He just causes havoc and mayhem. He just causes havoc and mayhem. Because I really do feel like he was the instigator.
インスティゲーターは先導者。発端となる人。引き金となる人という意味で、物事や出来事を引き起こすきっかけを作る人物や、特に騒動や問題の原因を作る人を指します。ポジティブな文脈でもネガティブな文脈でも使われます。
Because I really do feel like he was the instigator. Because I really do feel like he was the instigator. He was the one that just lit a fuse or something when he came on. He was the one that just lit a fuse or something when he came on. He was the one that just lit a fuse or something when he came on. Take the sting, stop the counters.
Take the sting は文字通りには刺さった針を取り除くという意味ですが、イディオムとして使われる場合、痛みを和らげる。衝撃や悪影響を軽減するという意味になります。ここでのスティングは感情的または物理的な痛みや苦痛を指しており、状況の緊張や不快感を和らげることを表現しています。
Take the sting, stop the counters. Take the sting, stop the counters.
いかがでしたか？前回も言いましたが、遠藤航のこの試合の評価は比較的良かったものが多かったです。 個人的には、遠藤航と同様に、今シーズン不遇だったジョー・ゴメスも称賛されて、実際に素晴らしいプレーをしていることが、見ていて嬉しくなります。遠藤航と同じ境遇だということもありますが、こういうサブの選手、不遇の選手でも、少しずつプレー時間が増えており、怪我人が出ることでさらにこういうプレイヤーの価値が再確認されることもあり、今後の遠藤航がそのような状況で良いプレーをし、称賛されるようなところまで想像しては、期待をしてしまいます。今週もミッドウィークでチャンピオンズリーグもあり、試合展開ではチャンピオンズリーグでもプレミアリーグでも出場機会が来るでしょう。また今週も楽しみです。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。